All right, here we are, chat. This is Vicky 3. I think I'm gonna try to just finish it today. I think that's like in this episode. I think I don't need to pay attention to anything other than just making sure that our Buddhist monk guy doesn't die, because we're so close. Like, this is gonna be done in November, the end of November 1851, and we've got the Shogun down below 15%. So, I just want to again thank Aldrahill. I want to really personally thank Aldrahill for for having me on his channel. I've been dropping over and having conversations with him. I was over there and I used caps lock and I not intentionally, but I used caps lock and it resulted in me getting having all my text deleted. And then I was like, I wasn't disappointed. I was just like, boy, I really want to record this. I'm going to go record this because I couldn't figure out how to reload it because I didn't press the reload thing on his Twitch chat. And so I just I was not paying attention. No, God damn it, Walker, you got to pay attention. All right, we'll build a couple of things. And that's going to help us keep the Shogun out of power. So that way I can just kind of talk and do a little video credit. That's kind of really what this is now. I don't think that it's at all possible for the Shogun to escape from this vice that we've built. I don't think there's any way for him to escape. We are working on mechanical tools. Let's pretend like we're kind of still doing a campaign. A campaign would probably pick up a couple of steel mills in Kanto around here. Yeah, that seems okay. That's what we'll do. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. That seems like it's fine. All right, so that's what we're doing. We're building a couple of steel mills over there. That's whatever. It doesn't matter. I want to talk about the information that I've interacted with so far, so that way what I think has been useful. I think the most useful tool for learning so far has been actually using debug mode. And so if you don't use that to do experimentation, that's okay. But I think if you do it, you're gonna benefit from it. You're gonna feel pretty good because it's gonna let you figure out, get a good feel for which technologies are important, because you can look at them and read them, but there's a lot of text there. There is a lot of text there, and I don't know how many. It's a lot. It's nonsense. At some point, there's a certain amount of information that your brain can absorb in one run, and that's the way it is. I'm not gonna take this down from speed 5. I'm ready. I'm ready for this to be done. And we are gonna need. Oh, Central Archives is actually not bad. If you're doing a campaign, you can probably pick up Central Archives, but you need to be careful about it, because remember that Central Archives is gonna hire aristocrats, because the building there in question uses aristocrats. We are building steel, so we could also build some sulfite. Let's build some sulfur. We could build some sulfur in Kyushu. That's fine. I like building in Kyushu. Kyushu is a good place to build. If you've never tried building in Kyushu, I recommend it. Jokes aside, sometimes when I say stuff like that, it sounds like I'm just being an idiot, and sometimes I am, but I think that one, building Kyushu, building those places, that's true. That's always true. And then I think also probably you always build the 10 stack and logging camps, and then I topped it up later, because I think it's useful to just have things set to where they're going to be. If you build things in a little better order, and you slap that 10 stack in there, then you'll have millions more. And if you understand how debt works and how interest works, then you'll know that's true. If you have anything else that you want me to do a tool-assisted speedrun on, like a tool-assisted speedrun that I could modify into a campaign especially, let me know, because I like this. Actually, this is fun. And if I think about it enough, I think I can film it in one day, because that's what I did here. I just filmed it in one day because I think it was doable, and it was, or I thought it was doable, and it was, and I like that sort of experimentation. I feel like an evil scientist here, and I like feeling like an evil scientist here. And if you like feeling like an evil scientist, then this is the Academy, at least, is definitely the channel for you. If you like entertainment, then you'll also probably I hope you'll get something out of this channel. But but the Academy speedrunning footage is mostly going to be aimed at people who are either aiming to, this is a tutorial, right? I'm talking about why these things are important. Market access, at a certain point, this is why you need rail. At a certain point, you're going to start getting pretty seriously urbanized. And as you get pretty seriously urbanized, the more that you build, the more that you build up these urban areas, which, again, they're good. They are good. They are good. We're using market squares and gas streetlights way before we have rail, because it doesn't matter. That's making more services is awesome. And that's basically free. What was I talking about? Sulfite pulping. All right, we're going to do some more government administration. And now we've got some more bureaucracy. And then maybe we're working on a different law. It doesn't matter. To reiterate, if this is the last episode and that's the only one that you're watching, I think you can watch this. It's not that bad. Like, all of these things are things that I promise you can just click some buttons and you can do it. I promise. You can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can follow along. I want to keep moving around in regards to construction. Like, I don't want to leave it entirely fallow. That's what I mean. Because if it's entirely fallow, then it's being unproductive, and we probably do need more coal mine now. Oh my god. And this is why. I kind of forgot about this is what I'm talking about. You really do need to have in mind at some point that your urban centers, the infrastructure that you need for your buildings, it's eventually going to run out. That's why tea time's important. That is why tea time is important. It's also important because it fires aristocrats. It takes them away from good jobs, and that's also good. Taking away jobs from aristocrats is pretty good, but just the idea of tea time sounded crazy, and then I started doing it, and I'm like, this is great. I love it. I love tea time. It's my favorite. Same with high tax, high wage. It's pretty good right now because we are using it. And it is going to be, this is going to be it. This is going to be an 1851. It's going to be clean. It's going to be great. The only things that we did, the intelligentsia can gain political strength. Sure, that's fine. I like the intelligentsia gaining political strength. Because if they're gaining, even if it means the Buddhist monks are weakening, I don't care. Because if they're gaining, then the shogunate's going to gain. And then whenever we get so the end of the thing is going to be at the end of this episode. Whenever we get that, I'm going to talk about why I'm also not afraid of the Buddhist monks. But for those of you who have been paying attention, then I think you're going to understand why. The reason is that this dude is either going to die or he's going to step down. And at that point, the alliance that he has built is going to disintegrate. It really is. Because this is peasants, clergymen, and aristocrats. Guess what modernity isn't, like, kind to? Those population types. Relying on Buddhist monks. And this is the people who are watching this 8.5 minutes through. The real trick, the real tutorial thing that I want to tell you is do not come in unless you want to have fun. If you want to have fun, then have fun however you want to. But if you want to play well, do not say, I need to get the intelligentsia powerful as quickly as possible. Unless that's where you are on the development streak, right? Like, because that's the way technology and societies work in this, is that they kind of follow the natural course of history. And we start in the natural course of history with a powerful landowning establishment. And then a learned group, the Buddhist monks in this case, tried to get a bunch of support from various aspects of the government to push the landowners out and marginalize their political power. And then they found figureheads to associate themselves with. They did. They found us. They found Emperor Komei. And Emperor Komei and the Buddhist monks worked together to overthrow the shogunate. This is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened. It's not literally exactly what happened in every single country, but like, when you're trying to westernize a country, don't start by going into intelligentsia and industrialists unless you want to do it for fun. If you want to do it for fun, please do so. It's good. But if you want to do it for historicity, then you don't go there. If you want to do it for historicity, the way you get out is the petite bourgeoisie if you can do trade, because they will benefit enormously from building textile mills. And you can very easily translate government funds around by conducting trade and by investing money in getting more silk and more dyes. You can put stuff, you really can do a lot of work with the petit bourgeoisie initially. And the other thing that I think that's really helpful about the petit bourgeoisie when you're playing as a westernizing thing is that you get the loan interest rate, you get the middle managers, you get a lot of stuff. Don't pay any attention to this. This is only here not because of the strategy. It's there because I didn't build a 10 stack of wood here and then would not shut up about it for like the entire game. But it's because that was a big spew. And it's the only reason that we have all of that, because otherwise the screenshot is going to look really good. And that's, that's fine. That's the way it is sometimes. Sometimes you do things that you're very proud of, things that will help people, things that that will become part of at least your own personal discourse. But this guide is good. This guide is good, and I'm proud of it. And if you follow it and you use it and you understand it, I think you'll be proud of it too. And that's it. That's the honorable restoration. That is the honorable restoration. It is 1854. I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to make sure that everybody understands that you can do this at home. All right. Who do you band with? Is the Emperor Komei is kind of like up to you, I guess, but he should definitely 1,000% have a third choice here. And the third choice should just be, if it's not one of them, whoever the most powerful faction is in government, because the Emperor Komei himself was kind of like, he was anti-Western. What did you give us? What wretched abomination did you give us? He's 20 years old now. Is that even true? Was Komei 20 years old in 1851? I don't know. He might have been. I could have read the Wikipedia article a little more carefully. I read the Wikipedia article for him in a frenzy at like 3 a.m. a couple of days ago to film this for you, everybody at home. The Komei restoration. Komei is the way. And again, to reiterate, if you don't blow all your money on building things before you build the wood, you will have way more than enough money to do industrialized Japan, which literally just requires that you build railways and stuff. And that's what I recommend doing after this. The reason that so I want to pause here. The reason this is so important. Oh, he's part of the samurai. Whoa, that's accurate. Actually, that's lore. That's cool. Oh man, that's cool. Look at that. Boom, baby. 1851. This right here is exactly, and I mean exactly, why I recommend doing Komei as the way. Because think about how awful our other leader was. The worst part about him was that he was associated with the worst faction in the game. Historically, like in real life, if you want a powerful and an effective government, you just don't want them. You never want them. They're awful and just awful. They're just awful. Walker, don't sound like you're crazy, but like they're awful. They're terrible. But the best part about it is that by removing them from there, you're going to have massive legitimacy, because if you think that your work is done by the time that you just remove the shogun from power, then you probably haven't played Japan a little deeper. That's okay. That's fine. I'm not here to like start fights. That's okay. But by removing the shogun and making it so that your legitimacy can come from working with a faction that's not garbage, you can pass religious schools really quickly, which can also help secure the fact that the landowners are not in power. Also, we didn't even get the ticking thing that helps you get rid of them. That's a thing that we got in the stream. The only tool assisted stuff that we did here, by the way, just for everybody to follow along. The biggest tool assist was that I just made it so that I did not have to re-roll our landowner until he had Jingoist. Eventually he might die or whatever. It looks like he got replaced with a pacifist. It doesn't matter. By the time he's not in government anymore, then he can resign or die or whatever. In this case, I'm going to say he laughed and walked off into the distance carrying like a giant pile of money or something like that. And our friend here, he's got a billion popularity. Eventually, he's going to die, and when he dies, because of the Buddhist monk faction being strong, it's going to disintegrate. And then you can take this and turn it into a campaign with literally anybody. That's why this guide and this tutorial is not just built for world record people, because you're going to get a much better, much better ruler who is going to allow you to transform the nature of your laws insanely early. This is November 1851, and it's not going to be the world record in 24 hours. And if I have to keep beating my own world record, I will, but I don't want to. I want to do other things. So please, somebody defeat me. Please, somebody defeat me. All right. I would also consider literally anybody filming it just without debug. I would consider that, even if you get in like 1855 using the same strategy. I would definitely concede. That's way more skill intensive because you have to reload, and that is a skill.